All they were trying to do was to save the planet.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
But the President of the United States declared them traitors and sent his forces to kill them. Not realizing they will not succumb before his whims on that day. Welcome back to Paramount Recapped. I don't have many subscribers, but your single comment is a ray of hope to motivate me. Way out near the border between North and South Korea, right in front of a heavily guarded North Korean tower, a stealth team is getting to work. You've got Duke, Roadblock, and Flint sneaking over a fence while Mouse sets up his sniper nest. Lady J is watching their backs from a distance, keeping things smooth. Roadblock's wearing these gloves that can melt through wire like it's butter, so he clears the way for the team to slip through. Mouse fires off a shot and knocks a coffee cup out of a guard's hand. Clean distraction. With that chaos going on, the crew hurries toward their goal. Roadblock and Duke make their way to a truck and pull someone out, rescuing or grabbing a target. It's not totally clear. Meanwhile, Flint's already climbed the guard tower and swapped out the North Korean flag for the G.I. Joe one. Just a little middle finger to the enemy. There's a quick voiceover that catches us up on how Cobra Commander and Destro got locked away in some super high security prison in the last movie. Storm Shadow and Zartan, though, still out there doing who knows what. Duke's now the squad leader, running point with Roadblock, Flint, Lady J, and good old Snake Eyes. Yeah, the guy who never talks but kicks everyone's butt. Backstage side, Duke and Roadblock are just chilling out after the mission, hanging at Roadblock's place. They're gaming until Roadblock's two little girls pounce on Duke and start play fighting. The game's over, and Duke's in full uncle mode now. While they're laughing around, the news flashes on. Pakistan's president just got taken out, boom, assassinated. That's when we jump over to the White House where the president, spoiler, it's Zartan in disguise, is chatting with his cabinet. The military wants to act fast, but the civilian advisors suggest waiting. Zartan ignores that and decides to send in the Joes to Pakistan. Official story? Grab and neutralize a nuke the country was developing just in case it falls into the wrong hands. So the Joes get dropped right on the roof of the place, hiding the bomb. They split up and storm through the building like it's nothing, sweeping floor by floor until they find the nuke. After a quick scuffle, they take control and start hauling it out of the country. Back in Cobra's secret underground bunker, Zartan walks in like he owns the place. The real president's locked up in there, and Zartan, just to show off, slices a line across his own face, showing off the nanotech, keeping his disguise on. His skin color flickers for a sec before going back to normal. He brags that Americans don't just want a president who looks the part. They want one who blows stuff up too. Out of nowhere, a bunch of helicopters show up. The team on the ground thinks it's backup or security. Nope. The choppers start unloading rockets and bullets, tearing through everything. Cars are getting blown sky high, and the Joes are caught in the chaos. Duke, trying to save Flint, ends up caught in an explosion and doesn't make it. Roadblock, Flint, and Lady J barely make it out alive by diving into an old well and hiding out while everything goes to hell around them. The next morning, they hear Zartan, still posing as president, going on national TV. He tells the whole country that the Joes attacked Pakistan and stole a nuclear bomb. Oh, and just for fun, he blames Snake Eyes for killing the Pakistani president. Then he ends his speech saying the Joes are done, wiped off the map. Meanwhile, the three survivors crawl out of the well, covered in dirt and grief. They set out on foot, marching through the desert. They're determined to get revenge for their fallen teammates and figure out what the heck is going on. Cut to Germany, where Snake Eyes is supposedly being taken to some super lockdown prison to be kept with Cobra Commander and Destro. The warden, this sketchy guy named James, takes him way underground and locks him in this creepy glass tube filled with paralyzing goo. Keeps your heart beating and eyes open, but that's it, full body lockdown. But surprise, turns out that's not Snake Eyes at all. It's Storm Shadow pretending to be him. As soon as James peels off the mask and reveals his face, he grins and says, "Welcome to hell." Meanwhile, out in the distance, Firefly, one of Cobra's nutjob mercs, comes tearing up to the prison on a motorcycle. He sends in these tiny flying explosives, literally little robot fireflies, and blows his way inside. Storm Shadow, already sealed inside the chamber, fakes a heart attack to trigger the alarms. As soon as the guards get in close, he snaps into action, ripping through them like paper. He busts out Cobra Commander and leaves Destro behind. Cold. They say Destro's not part of the crew anymore, so they don't even bother freeing him. Right then, Firefly catches up with him just as Warden James sets off a gas trap. Big boom follows, and the prison's in ruins. Right after the explosion mess, Storm Shadow's all messed up, his back's fried pretty bad, and Commander Cobra doesn't waste any time. He orders his men to haul Storm up to some ancient-looking temple way up in the Himalayas so he can patch himself up. This isn't your average spa retreat either. It's where warriors go to heal and rethink their life choices. Meanwhile, far away, the Arashikage clan's leader, a wise blind dude named Master Urza, gets wind that Storm Shadow's still breathing. That news hits hard, so he sends out the real Snake Eyes and his fiery apprentice, Jinx, who also happens to be Storm's cousin. Their job? Track down Storm in Tokyo, drag him back, and make him fess up about Cobra's latest evil game plan. Plus hold him accountable for what he did to their former leader, the Hardmaster. While all this ninja business is happening, the Cobra gang visits a weapons plant where a monstrous device called Zeus is being built. When Cobra Commander shows up, Zartan, still pretending to be the US president, fills him in about the last 3 Joes who somehow survived. Firefly, the guy who enjoys explosions a little too much, assures them those loose ends will be tied up real soon. Now let's flip back to the Joes. Roadblock, Flint, and Lady J have gone completely off the grid, hiding out in the kind of beat-up arcade gym where Roadblock used to hang back in the day. It's old, dusty, and full of memories, but for now, it's the safest place around. While laying low, they catch a press conference where fake President Zartan announces that Cobra is stepping in to replace the Joes as America's top military force. Not trusting what they're hearing, Lady J digs into some data and compares the speech patterns and body language of the president with older footage of the real guy. It doesn't take long for her to realize the truth. Someone's wearing a mask. Literally. Flint, trying to figure out who they can even trust at this point, asks Roadblock if there's anyone left in the system who isn't compromised. Roadblock nods and says he knows just one guy. So off they go to visit General Joseph Colton, the very first GI Joe himself, played by Bruce Willis. Once they meet up, Roadblock hands over the dog tags of their fallen teammates, giving Colton the full lowdown. With the situation now clear, they put their heads together and whip up a plan to expose the imposter in the White House. Colton gears them up with weapons and helps sneak them into a fancy political event the president will be attending. The goal? Snag some DNA from the fake press. Lady J sneaks into the place in a stunning red dress that totally turns heads, including Zartan's. She pretends to be part of the president's security detail while secretly pulling a strand of hair from Zartan's jacket. But one of Cobra's goons, Xander, gets suspicious and starts trying to scan her face. She ducks out quickly and passes the DNA to Roadblock. As the Joes work to confirm their theory, Firefly bursts in and starts blasting. He goes head-to-head with Roadblock and nearly takes him out, until Flint and Lady J show up in a truck and smash right into Firefly, forcing him to retreat. Elsewhere, way up in the snow-covered Himalayas, Snake Eyes and Jinx track down where Storm Shadow is recovering. As he's getting up and removing his bandages, the place suddenly gets attacked by masked warriors crashing in through the windows like an avalanche. Storm jumps up, confused, and runs into Snake Eyes in the hallway. They clash hard. Meanwhile, Jinx is in another room, throwing down with the elderly healer woman who was tending to Storm. After a chaotic brawl on both ends, Snake Eyes and Jinx manage to subdue Storm and his caretaker. They zip Storm into a body bag, alive though, and tie him up with a rope, ready to take him back for questioning. Back at the political fundraiser, they all head back to Colton's hideout where they meet up with his squad and strategize. Now, things escalate. Zartan arranges a secret meeting with the leaders of all the major nuclear powers at Fort Sumter. During the summit, he stuns everyone by launching America's nukes, only to shoot them all down moments later. It's a flex, a loud statement. The world gasps. Then he twists the knife even more. He reveals a new threat, Project Zeus, a network of 7 space-based weapons that can rain destruction on Earth from orbit. To prove he's not bluffing, Zartan fires one rod at London. Boom! City's almost wiped out in seconds. Panic spreads like wildfire. He threatens to obliterate more capitals unless every other country surrenders their nukes and bows to Cobra. But here's where things turn. Storm Shadow decides he's done with the lies. During the summit, he straight up kills Zartan and tells the world the truth about Cobra. It's a massive turning point. Meanwhile, Cobra Commander activates the remaining Zeus weapons and orders Firefly to guard the remote trigger case. The final showdown begins. While Snake Eyes, Jinx, and Flint keep Cobra's henchmen busy, Roadblock faces off with Firefly in a brutal fight. Eventually, Roadblock takes him down and disables the Zeus system, saving the world from total disaster. With Cobra exposed and Zardan out of the way, the real president is finally released and brought back to power. At a national ceremony, he honors the surviving Joes, Roadblock, Flint, Jinx, and Snake Eyes, as heroes. Colton gives a few words of gratitude, but when he hands Roadblock an old pistol that once belonged to General Patton, it means more than a thank you. It's a symbol. Roadblock raises the gun, fires one respectful shot in memory of the brothers they lost, and you just know this war with Cobra isn't over yet. Thanks for hanging out. If you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more action-packed movie recaps. Catch you in the next one.